Okay, this video is continuation of the geometry first video of theory. Now here basic concepts of geometry we are going to discuss in this axiom. So already we discussed in worksheet 1 and now also we will discuss. It is a self-evident mathematical statement. Okay, self-evident means it is true by itself, need not to be proved, and those are axioms. So now Euclid's axioms are there. So what are those? We will see. So things which are equal to the same thing are also equal to one another. Things which are equal to the same thing. So here A is a thing, C is a thing, which are equal to, both are equal to B, then automatically A equal to C. And the second axiom, if equals are added to equals, the sums are also equal. Suppose here 5 kgs quantity thing is there, another 5 kg quantity is there, both are added to another 2 kg same quantity. So now equal things, so here first equal things are added to equal things, their sums are equal. Here 7 kgs item will come, here also 7 kgs item will come. So that is A and C are equal, A equal to B, C equal to D. That means A plus C is equal to B plus D. So if equals are added to equals, the sums are also equal. And if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are also equal. So here equals are subtracted, A equal to B, C equal to D. And if you subtract in the same scenario 5 minus 2, you will get 3, and here also 5 minus 2, 3. So that means A equal to B, C equal to D, A minus C will be equals to B minus D. So here equals are subtracted from equals, remainders also equal. So these are all actually need not to write like sentences, we know already in our common sense, but these common things only Euclid has taken like a axiom. And then things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. So here coincide, if AB line segment coincide with the CD, then they are equal. So the things coinciding means they are equal, he said. And then the whole is always greater than the part, we know already. If two things are there, whole thing and this is a part, so which one is greater? Whole. So this is also axiom, we need not to prove, just by observing we can say which is greater. So whole is always greater than a part. Next, postulates. Postulates means these are also statements need not to be proved, but these are like some assumptions. Okay, we need to assume, we need to assume. So the assumptions which are accepted as true without proof, only. Axioms are without proof, postulates also without proof. But axioms are self-evident, very common, basic, and postulates are somewhat greater than these, some assumption. Okay, now Euclid postulates. So here Euclid postulates already we have discussed in the first video. So that is a straight line may be drawn from any point to any other point. There from 2 points we can draw one and only one line. A straight line segment can be extended indefinitely at the either end. So that means we have studied like in a line segment is contained, that's why like that we have studied. A circle may be described with any center and any radius, this also we have read already. And then all right angles are equal, this also we have read. And the fifth postulate we have studied that a line, if a line is there and a point not on it, so through that point one and only one parallel line we can draw to this line. That postulate can be explained with another statement also, that is if a line meets two other lines, so that sum of the two interior angles on one side of the transversal is less than two right angles, then the straight lines extended indefinitely if necessary will meet on the side of the transversal. That means what is the fifth postulate here in this statement is, suppose two lines are drawn and a transversal is there. Now on one side the sum of the two interior angles is less than 180, So on which side less than 180, that side if you extend the lines, they definitely meet at some point. This is that means on one side the sum of the two interior angles less than 180. Suppose what happen when it is greater than 180, that means another side, if one side greater means another side is less, on less side they will intersect. Suppose it is equals to 180, if it is equals to 180, what happens, they will never intersect, that means parallel. The parallel condition is coming in this postulate. Now propositions. So there are some more axioms, postulates, and then next propositions, theorems, and corollaries. What are those? Propositions are what? Propositions are some statement by their thinking they can create some statements. Okay, proposition means it may not be true. I will make a proposition like that. A point, a line have only 3 points, I said. So it is a proposition. But you can say that no, there are not 3 points only. There are infinite points, you can say. So like that, whatever you think, you can say a statement, that is a proposition. Now any proposition is verified by logical reasoning, and it has made to be true for always, then it will become a theorem. Now here propositions may establish some geometrical constructions also. While propositions you are doing, I have done here, some construction I have did. So propositions include constructions. Okay, and then corollaries. Whenever you have created a theorem, its result will leads to another result. One result lead to another result. Result 1, result 2. So if the result is the theorem's result, and the result 2 based on result 1, so this one now it is called corollary. It is a corollary. What is corollary? It's these are the additional propositions readily follow. They are ready to follow, need not to be proved from the proofs of the main theorem. From the main theorem you can derive another point, that is called corollary. So here you learned that propositions, theorems, and corollaries. Okay. Now undefined terms. So in geometry, actually first the basic things are undefined: point, line segment. With our common sense we can assume that, but we can describe that. These can be undefined terms, can be described but not defined. Example: point, line, plane. Whatever we are giving the definitions, actually not the original definition, they are our own description. Point means we are saying that Markov equation. So some point A, point B represented by capital letters. And if you see the line segment means if you take 2 points, the shortest path between 2 points is known as line segment. And if a line segment is extended infinitely in one direction, that is called ray. And line segment is represented by AB bar. Okay, and ray can be represented by using the arrow mark symbol. And here this point where ray is starting is called initial point. It is called initial point. Now, our starting point, ray has one end point and the line segment has two end points. Now if you take a line, straight line is line segment extended in both directions, and line has no end points. If AB is a line, so here AB having two arrow marks, this is the line. Okay, and next if you see about the plane, a flat surface that extends infinitely in its two dimensions along with the length and width is known as plane. Suppose your blackboard is there in your class. If the board is infinitely spread in the same directions, length and breadth, then it will be an example of plane. And space exists in three dimensions: length, breadth, height or depth. Space is made up of all possible planes, lines and points. All possible. We are living in a space, so space means it is three-dimensional. Okay, three-dimensional occupation. So the all objects will be lie in the space. Now open figures. The curves which are having starting and end points differently are known as what are those open figures? Here starting ending point are different, here also different. So a figure starting and ending points are different are known as open figures. And closed figures, so starting point ending point are same, starting ending points are same, starting ending points are same. So these are called closed figures. In closed figures some special figures are there. These two are simple closed figures. Why? They are not intersecting themselves except at the end points. So this is not a simple closed figure. If you see a closed figure which do not intersect except at the end points, suppose if I have done like this, this is not a simple closed curve. It is not a simple closed curve because it is intersecting here. So which are only at the end point, if they intersect they are simple open, simple closed figure. This is simple closed figure, this is simple closed figure, this is simple closed figure. Angle. So what is an angle? Union of two different rays that are having same initial point. Suppose if you observe here, OA is a ray, OB is a ray, common point is common, okay, initial point. So here one angle is formed. So the angle is represented by angle AOB or angle BOA or angle O. Here O is called the vertex of the angle. And here OA and OB are known as arms or rays. Now types of angles. Whenever the amount of the angle, here it is measured in degrees. So if the amount of angle is greater than 0 and less than 90, it is acute angle. If it is equal to exactly 90 degrees, it is right angle. It is greater than 90 and less than 180, it is obtuse angle. And if it is exactly equal to 180 degrees, it is right angle. And reflex angle greater than 180 and less than 360, reflex angle. And if it is exactly equal to 360, it is complete angle. And if it is exactly equal to 0 degrees, it is zero angle. Now pairs of angles. So adjacent angles, one of the pairs of angles is adjacent. When you can say adjacent angles, if two angles are there like this, they have a common vertex. What is the common vertex? Is O. Now I am defining this angle as AOB and another angle AOC. What is the common vertex for both angles? O. So first condition is satisfied. Common arm, what is the common arm here? OA. Second condition is satisfied. No common interior. That means AOB having any interior point, this point not belongs to this point. So no common interior. So third condition is also satisfied. That's why angle AOB and angle AOC are which angles? Adjacent angles. If you see the other diagram, here O is a point and here B is a point, suppose, and here P is a point, here Q is a point, here R is a point. Here two angles if you observe, PBR vertex is B, QOP vertex is O. So both vertices are different. So first condition having failed. That's why these two are not adjacent angles. Okay. Now even if you take like this, angle A, angle B. So angle A and angle B also having same vertex, common vertex, but they are not adjacent because these two are having different arms. No common arm is there. That's why A and B are not adjacent here. So here angle A, angle B are not adjacent because here what happened? Second condition is failed in this case. So these are adjacent angles, these two are not adjacent angles. Okay. Next, linear pair. If you observe this figure, there are two angles, RQS, PQS. So these two angles are having common vertex and these common arm, adjacent angles. First of all, these two are adjacent angles and here the non-common arms are forming a straight line. So here a pair of adjacent angles, first linear pair means they should be adjacent angles, and which arms? Non-common arms. Common arm is what? QS. What are non-common arms? QR and QP. By combining QR and QP, they must form a straight line. Okay. So SQR, SQP are forming linear pair. So this is these two angles combination is a linear pair. Suppose some other example if you take. Okay, now it is alpha, it is beta. suppose A, O, B. So if you know alpha plus beta is equals to 180, that means it is a straight line. Okay, and these two are adjacent, so alpha comma beta are what? Adjacent. So adjacent and 180, so those two conditions should be satisfied, adjacent and straight line. Straight line means 180 degrees. So then you can say that these two angles are linear pair. Okay, vertically opposite angles. When two lines are intersecting at one point, there are four angles will be formed. Out of those opposite formed angles are called vertically opposite angles. Here two lines intersecting forming four angles. Opposite pairs are called vertically opposite angles, shortcut VOA. Now here what are the vertically opposite? Angle A and angle C are vertically opposite angles, and angle B and angle D are vertically. Always vertically opposite angle pairs are equal. Here A equal to always C and B equal to D. Suppose it is 30 degrees, it will be 30. Here it will be, here 30 means here linear pair. B and A are here, B comma A are linear pair, and C comma D are linear pair. Okay, and A comma C are vertically opposite, B and D are vertically opposite. And supplementary angles. So what are supplementary angles? Whenever two angles are there, their sum is 180, they are called supplementary angles. Like this 20, 160, 40, 140, their sum is 180 in these all cases, 180. So two angles sum is 180, they are called supplementary angles. And here complementary angles. So two angles sum is 90, 20, 70, 30, 60, 45, 45 is known as, the pairs are known as complementary angles. Now intersecting lines. Whenever two lines are having one common point, so then they are said to be intersecting lines. Two lines having one common point. So L and M are two intersecting lines having intersection at P. Now coincident lines. Whenever two lines are coincide with each other, that means how many common points will be there? Infinitely. So two lines having infinite common points are called coincident lines. Here PS is one line and QR is one line, both are on one another, that's why they are coincident lines. So how many common points will be there? Infinite. Here intersecting lines common points 1. Now concurrent lines. Concurrent line means there should be at least 3 lines. If 2 lines are there, you cannot say concurrent. At least 3 lines or more lines. Suppose another line also will be there like this. Sorry, it's not straight. Okay, suppose another line, this is L. Now 3 or more lines are passing through one point, then they are said to be concurrent lines. Parallel lines. So whenever when you can say two lines are parallel, two lines L and M are said to be parallel if they have no common point. So suppose if you see like this, L is a line and another M is a line, so these two lines are said to be parallel. So when they are parallel, if you extend infinitely, nowhere they should be touch each other. So if they touch each other, they are intersecting, otherwise only they are parallel. So the perpendicular distance between two parallel lines is always equal. Okay, and transversal. What is a transversal? So transversal means first of all it is a line. Transversal means first of all it is a line. Which line? Straight line. What it do? So it intersects how many lines? 2 or more lines. 2 or more lines. So if you see the example, P is a line, Q is a line, R is the transversal here intersecting these two lines at how many points? Different points. It is very important. Why different points? Suppose P and Q are already intersecting lines. Suppose if I draw the R line from the same point, now can I say the R is transversal? No, R is not transversal because R should touch at different points. So that is the most important thing. So whenever a straight line intersect 2 or more lines, not only 2 lines. Suppose if you say L, M, N, Q, all lines are intersecting by one line, suppose K. Now who is the transversal? K is the transversal of all these lines because it is intersecting at different points. Don't think that these lines should be parallel. So if you see L and N are lines intersecting at some point, and M is the line intersecting these two lines at two different points. So here M is a transversal. Even if you say with respect to L is intersecting here N and also M. So L is also transversal. N is intersecting L and M both. So N is also transversal. So what is a transversal? Transversal is a straight line intersect two or more lines at different points is called a transversal. So here R is a transversal. Here all are transversal. Here suppose it is M is a transversal. Here K is the transversal. Now intercept. What is intercept? Whenever if you observe the transversal, so N intersecting L and M, so between the transversal intersect at two different points. So the distance between these 2 points AB, so the line segment AB, what is that line segment? The length of the transversal, where to where, between the two intersection points. So between the two intersection points, the length of the line segment, which line segment? Intercept. So the length of the transversal between two intersection points is called intercept. So it is a part of transversal. Actually intercept means it is a part of transversal. Okay, so between two intersection points. So here AB is the intercept. Okay.